Good evening and welcome to Cup of Tea and Case Studies live on YouTube. Thanks for joining us, guys. I can see there's plenty of you in the chat this evening. There's 14 viewers at the moment, so thank you so much for joining us. Welcome. First ever Cup of Tea and Case Studies. What could go wrong, eh? So we're going to have a little look at a geography case study today. We're going to look at the Haiti Earthquake case study. But before we get started, we just need to do a quick check to see who is in the geography live stream this evening. So first of all, hello to Barney joining us this evening, and thanks to our mods, our moderators, two of you in the chat this evening as well. And hello to Arson. Yeah, Arson. I am so ready for this. Yeah, I'm glad you are, mate. I am ready as well. Can't wait for this one. Hello to Hermes, he's in as well, and a very enthusiastic Brennan is in. Gonna love a bit of Haiti case study, absolutely. I'm unreasonably excited for this. You know what? So am I as well, actually. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope it goes well. I reckon it'll be about half an hour, 45 minutes of geography therapy. That's what let's call it, geography therapy. A bit of a case study, ready for your exams, and ready to, smash it in your next exam, basically. Rando Thai Gamers, yo. Yeah, good evening to you, and good evening to Shadow. Ooh, exciting. Yeah, it is a bit exciting. Good evening to Team Mod as well. In there. And Greg gives us a wave. Thanks, Greg. Thanks for being in there. Good evening again from the mods. And yeah, wave. Amna. Hello, Amna. Good to see you. I do like that little thumbnail, by the way. That little cat there looks pretty cool. Greg. What's this? Greg has been summoned. I did my job of platforming. I don't really know what that means, to be honest. Anyway, hello, hi, yes, Shania, welcome to the live stream, and a wonderful little flower. Right, I know who you are now. I know who you are. Welcome, Ryan. Welcome. Good to see you. So I think we've got GCSE and A-level geographers here in the live stream, so it's good to have you all. We'll just check in a few others who are joining us as well. LXX and hi, sir. Hello, thanks for joining us. Harry, good to see you, Harry, and Ren as well. Good to see you guys. Thanks for joining us. And Amy, wave. Rando, we're going to be here for a while. I've just got some snacks. Absolutely, that just reminds me as well. Make sure you've got some nice little snacks here. Biscuits. Get you through the live stream. Yeah, get some biscuits or crisps. Anything nice. This is like comfy revision. This is chilled revision. Yeah, so make yourself comfy, and make sure you've got some snacks on standby. That's the whole idea of this. Yeah, Ryan is in the house. So what do we need, guys? Well, let me just try and present here. Hopefully this works. Screen share, and then let's click on this one. So yeah, let's share that. So hopefully you're picking that up, guys, on the camera. So obviously you need a cup of tea. In fact, I've been drinking quite a lot of mine before we start here. So yeah, definitely a cup of tea is essential. And you're going to need some coloured crayons. Hopefully you've got some. I'm just going to put the lighting up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. A bit better lighting. So hopefully you got your coloured crayons. All sharpened up. Pen and pencil. Possibly a ruler as well, maybe, and yeah, your usual bits of stationery that you might need as well, all on standby. So that's all there. And obviously, you're going to need a plain piece of paper. There we go, guys. Yeah, a plain piece of paper. So hopefully, you're all equipmented up, ready to go for this live case study. And by the way, guys, obviously you lot have all joined in. You are the OGs of the geography live stream, aren't you? You are the originals because you're on the first one. So just remember that, guys. It's a sacred place to be. Right, are we ready to go? Hit us up in the chat. Are we ready to go? Just see if there's anybody else joining us. Lucas has dropped in. Hey, Lucas. Hope you're ready for your geography case study. again, where will this fit in? So this is natural hazards, earthquakes. Whenever that comes up in your end of unit tests or the summer exams, yeah, this is going to be really, really useful. So I'll just give you 1 more minute to get your equipment ready, guys. Make sure you got your biscuit, your brew, and everything else that you're going to need for this case study. Let's go. Yeah, I love that. Where's that? Rando Thai Gamers. Let's go. Yeah. Let's have a apple pie. What's this? I have apple pie and ice cream. Now that is taking it some. That is, Ryan. That is really good. Does that count? Absolutely. I have 17 chicken breast crumbs. Oh my god. Yeah. Well, yeah. You can all post what you're eating. That's fantastic. Yeah, you're all having a good snack there. And some people are still waiting to join. Right, I think we're time to get started then. So I'm just going to remove that last, just remove the last comment off the screen, hopefully. How do I actually do that? That's a good question. I don't actually know how to get rid of that last comment. Oops. Let's go back to stop sharing. And let's go back to present screen share. And back on here, share. Okay, and then if we just hide that comment, there we go, guys. As I say, I'm just getting used to all this technical stuff here. So hopefully now, guys, you should have everything all ready. And also a big hello to Ross as well. Thanks for joining us, Ross, for the live stream. You've not missed anything just yet in our case study live. Right, we're ready, guys. Let's hit it. So in the middle of your page, we're going to go for this. It's going to be the Haiti Earthquake. Haiti Earthquake. Maybe we need a bit of a zoomed in motion in. Haiti Earthquake. Case study. Oh. And this is the 2010 earthquake. This one is. There was one in 2021, but we'll go for the 2010 one. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go into kind of 4 sections. Okay. So we're going to go with this area over here, and we can always make it pretty afterwards. So we've got background information here. Background info. So we'll start with that one over there. And then over here, we're going to go with the causes. So over here is going to be the causes. Yeah. Down in this bottom left-hand corner, we're going to go with the impacts. Yeah. And down this side, we're going to go with the responses or the management responses / management. Down here. Okay, so that's kind of, if I just zoom out a little bit for you guys, you can see that that's just how it's laid out there. Oops. I'm just trying to stand everything up here. There we go. Right, so I'm going to start with this top section up here. We're going to look at the location of Haiti and give some bit of a background context to the actual earthquake as well. So I think we should start with where Haiti is, and I'm going to draw a little, again, with these kind of case study maps. It doesn't have to be neat or anything. It's just kind of revision technique. But we are going to go with location. So I'll do a little stem up there, and we'll do location. Yeah. And then I'm going to draw a little map here of the island. There we go. With a border that goes down, pretty much down the center. Okay. On the east of the island, we have the Dominican Republic, which is another country that borders it. Dominican. Again, let me just zoom you in a bit, guys, so you can see the focus. Hopefully that's better. Dominican Republic, which is the country that borders the country that we're interested in. And on the west side here, we've got Haiti. So Haiti shares the same island as the Dominican Republic. Okay. It's actually in the Caribbean. So I think we should put the Caribbean Sea over here. Yeah. So it's in the Caribbean. It's a Caribbean island. It's in the southeast of the Caribbean. I don't know if for our A-levels geographers who have dropped in, just to be aware, it's in the southeast of the Caribbean Sea. In fact, let's get a little bit creative here. There's the sea. There we go. Get to use my first colours, just very briefly. Oops. Yeah. There we go. There we go. So it's in the Caribbean Sea. Now, the most important place is the capital city here, which I'm going to put down here. And the capital city is called, I'm going to put the capital. And it's called Port-au. So Port-au-Prince. Port-au-Prince is the capital city. Oh, where's my red crayon? I don't know where my red crayon is. Anyway, we'll just colour it in that colour there. And here is Haiti, and the capital is Port-au-Prince. It's down in the kind of southwest of the island, and that is the capital city down there. Okay, a little bit more information about the area and what this country is about. So Haiti is a low-income country. It's a low-income country. So it doesn't have much money at all. Okay, it's very low. That's supposed to be a money bag, guys. Sorry about that. You do remember that I'm no good at art, and I don't think it really matters when you're doing your geography revision, you know. Yeah, here you go. So it's a low-income country in the Caribbean. Right, some other information then. Let's say how rich it is. I've said it's quite poor. So on average, there's my little stick man, who looks very unhappy. There. Oops, sorry guys. There you go. There's my little sad stick man. 80% of people live in poverty. So they struggle to pay their bills. They live in poverty. They may not have a job. Unemployment is really, really high. And poverty in this part of the world means that they live on less than $2 per day. So lots of lots of people living in a very, very challenging life there. It's difficult times. Just to build on that one as well, the average amount of money that each person has, the average, what we call gross domestic product per capita, which is per person. So the average GDP per capita is only $1,200. So what that means, guys, is if you took all of Haiti's money and then you divide it by the number of people that live there, okay, then that would be around about $1,200 per person. Okay. So, as a bit of background context, I'm going to move over to this side and get some more facts now about how this earthquake actually happened. All right. So, we're going to get some facts over here. Okay, number one, the date. So, the date of the Haiti earthquake is going to be very important. Here we go. Let me just um, okay. So there we go. So the date of the Haiti earthquake was the 12th of Jan. Okay, it was the 12th of January 2010. 2010. Any questions in the chat or anybody comment in the chat? We'll catch up with that at the end of the stream. Don't worry, we'll catch up with you guys at the end of the stream. But for now, I'm just going to concentrate on this. So it's the 12th of Jan 2010. In terms of its magnitude, which is a really important thing, that's the strength of the earthquake, the magnitude of the earthquake. So on the Richter scale, it goes from 10 to 0. Yeah, magnitude. This was actually 7. Okay, so this was a 7 on the Richter scale. So that's pretty strong. Okay, not the strongest of earthquakes, but it was pretty strong. It was 7 on the Richter scale. There we go. Okay, just another little fact before we move on. This is quite an interesting fact. How do I draw a medal? I don't know. But maybe let's just try and draw this here. Second. So it is the second deadliest earthquake ever. Yeah, so it's the second deadliest earthquake. That's my little silver medal for second place. I think somebody's done a better medal in the chat. Thanks for that, guys. Rando, you've got better medals there, but yeah. So it was the second deadliest earthquake in history. Okay. So it's the second deadliest earthquake in history. The first one was in China in 1556, something like that. This was the second deadliest ever earthquake. That's why it's quite a good one to actually study. Okay, so let's move across to the causes then, and we're going to draw a little diagram over here. So here we go. Again, you might want to use a ruler for this. Yeah. I'm just going to draw a little sketch there. Put a little house on it or something. Yeah, so we know that's our tectonic plates. Okay. And again, we can always add a bit of colour because it's always nice to do that as well, especially for revision. It really does help for our revision. So the plate boundary here was 2 plates. So this one here, was the North American plate. So this is what caused this devastating earthquake, the second deadliest in history. So we had the North American plate, and then we had here the Caribbean plate. The Caribbean plate. Hopefully we're going that's the plates. Yeah, that is the plates. Yeah. Excellent. Hopefully I'm not going too fast, guys. Just let me know in the chat if it is going a little bit too fast. So we've got Caribbean plate and the North American plate. When they slide past each other side by side, this is known as and this we're going to put in kind of a star. This is called a conservative plate boundary. So this is a conservative plate. Oh, I've run out of space, guys. I'm just gonna have to call it conservative plate, I'm afraid, because I've run out of space. But that is a very important bit of information. So that's where plates move side by side. Yeah, and that's what caused the heating plate at that particular time. But let's just make it a bit easier to understand. Could really do with my red crayon. Where's my red crayon? It's my favourite colour. Well, one thing we'll definitely make sure, guys, is next time we do a live stream, we'll get a red crayon because it would help. But anyway, there we go. And actually, we've got kind of Port-au Prince again. Port. So that's the capital city of Haiti. Okay. Now, the depth of the earthquake. So the earthquake depth. Um, the depth of the earthquake was depth of earthquake was 5 miles, which in earthquake terms is very shallow. So it's a shallow earthquake. It was near the surface. This is what caused most of the devastation when the earthquake actually struck. So it's a shallow earthquake. Oh, we've missed the time, guys. Not you, I've missed it. So we're back up towards the date here. The time was, let's draw a little clock. It was 4:50. 4:53. So it's 4:53 p.m. So it's kind of rush hour. Yeah, it was 4:53 p.m. and that is very much rush hour, isn't it? So lots of people would have been commuting, lots of people would have been out and about, many people in buildings, and at the time really didn't help because that probably led to the significant impacts that we had. So let's have a little look at those impacts now, actually. So we're going to go down into the bottom left-hand corner and look at the impacts. Am I okay to move on from that? Let's go down here then. So down here, impacts of the Haiti earthquake. Wait a minute, guys. I just need to have a little sip of tea. I think it's time for a little sip of tea, isn't it? 41 joined. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us on our Haiti case study. That is pretty awesome. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Conservative plate margin. Yes. Big up the conservative plate margin. Right, impacts. Let's go down here then. So as you may remember, we have primary impacts. So I'm just going to put here primary. These are what we call immediate impacts. So these happen pretty much straight away due to the shaking of the ground. Okay. Then we've got our secondary impacts. So these secondary impacts, which are often delayed. So these are delayed impacts and also usually due to a primary impact as well. So because something's happened beforehand, that might then lead to some secondary impacts. That'll make a bit more sense when we get some examples down here. So here we go. Let's go for our primary impacts. So I'm going to start with a very sad one, guys. We're going to start with the death toll. Yeah, really sad. So there was 316,000 people killed, which is very sad. Yeah, most of those, little gravestone, most of those were in Port-au-Prince. There's around about 9 million people live in Port-au-Prince, actually. Maybe we should have put that. That would have been a good idea, wouldn't it? Maybe up here, population. That's just a little shorthand for population. Population is 9 million. Okay, so 316 killed. There was 1 million homeless people. 1 million people made homeless. Homeless. I don't know how to draw homeless really. Let's just draw a person. Don't want to offend people, do you? But yeah, someone just sat on the floor, maybe. There we go. Never going to win any art competitions, but yeah, 1 million found homeless. In fact, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to just categorize these into social and economic and environmental. So these are both to do with people. So these are actually social impacts. Because you may get asked, what were the social impacts of an earthquake that you studied? So social is to do with people. Yeah, so there you go. Social impacts. What else have we got? Let's have a little look then. 80% of buildings were destroyed. 80% of buildings were destroyed in Port-au-Prince, the capital. So again, a little picture of buildings, just maybe bits of rubble. Now, one key thing here to remember, guys, is that this was the biggest killer in the earthquake because one of the main reasons was a lot of the buildings weren't built to strict building regulations. So they didn't have the required amount of metal framework in the buildings. A lot of them were made of concrete. In fact, maybe you can try and put that somewhere. So they were kind of concrete buildings, and they basically crumbled. They crumbled on top of people. So they were concrete structures, weren't built to strict building regulations, crumbled in the air. So not good at all. Ooh, so some other impacts was this was quite significant. The government building collapsed, which is not great in an earthquake because you need your government. How do I draw the government building? I think I did have a big dome on it as well, actually. There we go. It's just broken apart to the earthquake. But this is really important because the government were unable to coordinate the response because many of the ministers were at work and were killed actually in the earthquake. So the government building was also destroyed in that earthquake disaster. Again, that was a major, major problem. A few other things that were impacted. A lot of these. So the buildings one here again is kind of social problem. That's a social impact as well. So many social impacts with this earthquake. That's predominantly what it is. Right. So a couple of other ones then. Hospitals were damaged. So there was over 50 hospitals damaged. So again, down here, let's put a red cross on it so we know what it is. Again, guys, I will catch up with the chat just at the end. Where is my red pencil? Eh? Should be red, that should be, guys, because it's a hospital. Uh, 50 hospitals damaged. So you can imagine what that is like in an earthquake disaster when you need to take people to hospital to get care, and many of them were damaged in the also, which you might be happy well, you'd be quite happy about this, guys, I reckon, is that 1,300 well, 1,300 schools, uh, were also damaged in this earthquake. So here we go, let's just draw a student who's got very, very happy. School is closed. Yay. School is closed, yay. And but in all seriousness, this impacted on their education, disrupted education, and not really great. The last one, if I can try and squeeze it in, again, these are all social impacts pretty much, impacting on healthcare and again impacting on hospitals. So they're all blue. Um, Now this was quite serious because 4,000 prisoners escaped as well. That's not great, is it, guys? 4,000 prisoners. 4,000. And they escaped because the prison actually, um, prisoners escaped. So the prison actually collapsed and all the prisoners escaped. Well, not all, but 4,000 of them. And they were then able to commit their crimes and that was a problem, especially for the government who couldn't respond to the earthquake because of the building collapse and things like that. So how do you draw a prisoner? Oh God, I don't really know. Anyway, I might just leave it there. Right, over to the secondary impacts then on this side. Oops, 4,000 prisoners escaped. Wish I could draw a prisoner. Right, secondary impacts. 1 in 5 lost their job. 1 in 5 people lost their job. Mm, very sad. Without a job, you can't pay your bills. Without your bills, you can't, have a quality of life. You can't pay for your education, buy food, water, all that sort of stuff. So it's a massive impact because many of the buildings collapsed. Many of those were businesses. So again, we can maybe put that as well here. That some of them were. So these were residential, which is homes, and industry as well. So they were residential and industry. So some of it was economic. So let me just put that up here actually. So an economic impact was businesses uh, were impacted by the quake. They collapsed in the earthquake. So that would be an economic impact. That would affect things like trade. That would affect trade, people's jobs, and all those sort of things. Um, Another problem that broke out in um, was cholera, which is a disease from contaminated water. So I'm going to draw a little bottle here, and I'm going to do it green now. Cholera, because the sheer number of people that died in the earthquake, yeah, it's contaminated water, guys. That is. I'll put a bit of blue in there, but so due to the number of dead bodies, the water supplies became contaminated. So I'm going to put here contaminated water supply. Water supplies led to cholera, which is a disease that can be life-threatening, especially in a low-income country, and it did lead to a high death toll. So a lot of people actually died from drinking the contaminated water. That's because of the dead bodies and things like that that had kind of not been recovered because the government hadn't recovered them, and then that contaminated as a skull. Yeah, there's a skull, contaminated water through cholera. Another impact, secondary impact, was, just put that down there, secondary and primary. So another secondary impact was getting aid into the country was difficult because the airport was damaged. So I don't know how I'm going to draw a damaged airport, but maybe just draw a little crack in the runway and a plane. What on earth is that? That's supposed to be a plane. So effectively, aid was delayed due to the airport and port being damaged, which was a big problem at the time. So we've got a few secondary impacts. So now it's starting to build up really nicely, guys, as you can see. There we are. Starting to look really nice. I hope yours is looking it's good. We're just going to do management, so we'll try and do that in the next 5 minutes, and then I'll catch up with as much of the chat as I can. If you've got any questions, or hit us up in the comment section, and we'll try and answer those at the end. So let's have a look at the responses. So again, with responses, we've got short-term responses, so things that happened pretty immediately. So short-term response. Again, you might be given an exam question which says, what were the responses to the Haiti earthquake? And then you can mention some of those. So a lot of money was given to them. Huge amounts of money was given. So a big money bag. This was called aid. So lots of countries sent money. Let's do a little bit of. So aid was sent. And effectively, the USA, they sent $100 million. 100 million. Very generous. So the USA sent 100 million. Yeah. And also the EU as well, the European Union sent over 300 million, which sounds a hell of a lot. But America, for one country, obviously it's a rich country in the world, sent $100 million to help out, and the EU sent $300 million, and that would pay for things like food, water, rebuilds of buildings, and all that sort of important stuff that we need. What else was done immediately? We got tents. So they created tented villages. Yeah, there's a tent, guys. Maybe if I just colour it in a bit around it. Yep. Let's just drop you down a bit so you can see a bit better. There we go. So the US sent 100 million and the EU 300 million. So tents. Set up tented villages for 800,000 people, nearly 1 million people in tents. Wow, imagine that. If you've done Duke of Edinburgh, you'll know what camping's like. It's not the best, is it? With 800,000 people, it must be very, very difficult. Um, and lastly, in terms of short term, I'm just going to put it down here. They also gave little ration packs, like little food parcels and things like that. So I'm going to put here food. Looks a little bit like a sandwich, doesn't it? That? Maybe we colour it in and make it look a bit more like a sandwich. Don't know. Does that look like a sandwich? I don't know. Anyway, a ration pack. So they gave 4.3 million people um, food ration packs, like a little packed lunch, really, to keep people going when food supplies were short. Okay, it's out of view. Sorry, guys. Oh, yes, it is. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Yeah, thanks for the comment there. King, you are the king. There you go. So I just dropped that there. So 4.3, a lot of you, isn't it? 4.3 million uh, people were given food, were given food ration packs. Yeah, to help them survive in the following weeks and months to come. So, what else was done? Well, we're going to have some long-term responses. So, we're going to put our long-term responses here. So, these are things that happened maybe a good few weeks, possibly months, possibly years after. So, they had to clear rubble off the road. So, there was rubble. So, one thing they had to do was clear roads of rubble. That's to allow for businesses to trade, to allow people to move between uh, home and work and hospitals and schools. So that rubble really was a priority to get moved off that road. So that would have been really important. Um, they also gave, so they helped, which was quite impressive, really. So the government, can you see this? Yeah, the government helped 70% of people to find new jobs. So the government were active in finding people new jobs, and these were called cash, food, and work projects. There we go. So cash, food, and work projects. So the government really did step up in the end to try and get people back into work and back into school. And the last thing that the government have done is they managed to reconnect, which took a lot of time, reconnect 1.7 million people back to water supplies, back to giving water supplies, back to the local network of water as well. So there we go, giving them reliable water supplies as well. So 1.7 million people were reconnected back to the water system infrastructure, giving them water supplies that they needed. So I think that was about it. I'm just going to add a little conclusion at the bottom here, especially if you're going for higher grades and if you are going for, to impress the examiners, really, just giving an overview of the actual case study. We're just going to make a few points here. So, evaluation, because you might be asked to give an opinion on it. So, let's go with the first one. Government was poorly prepared for this event. Government there was poor preparation. In fact, there was no disaster plan in place. So there was no plan in place to deal with an earthquake. So they were dealing with it at the time. It really didn't help. Also, another issue was that the high levels of poverty made it actually the second worst disaster in history. Poverty levels was a big contributing factor to why this earthquake was so deadly. And we've talked about the cholera as well. The last one, really, the main killer was the buildings. No building regulations. Obviously, it's an LIC, it's a poor country, but not having building regulations was an oversight by the government. If they'd have had strict laws on building, then perhaps the buildings may have withstood more of the earthquake tremors. So these are some of the key things that the government or what was happening that really kind of led to it. High poverty levels and um, population density as well. So there's a lot of people living in a small area who were very poor. They were living in buildings that were built not to standards. Again, there was a lot of concrete and not enough metal framework, and the government didn't have a plan. Yeah, they were ill prepared for such a disaster. So let's have a look, guys, on our first case study. I'll just try and zoom out a bit more. And there you have it, pretty much. So there, most on there. Can't get any higher, I don't think. Uh, there we go. There is our Haiti case study for 2010 Haiti earthquake. It's a great case study for a low-income country. Lots going on, and I would definitely use in geography exams. So I'm going to go back to the chat now and just get rid of this and see what's going on, guys. Hope you've enjoyed that. A bit of geography case study fun on a Thursday evening, and we will be back next Thursday for another case study. I don't know what it'll be, but we'll have a little look at that. So I'm just going to go through the comments, guys, before we head off. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Lucy, yeah, there's Lucy in the chat. If Chloe is in the chat as well, happy birthday, Chloe. Happy birthday to you. There's a lot of people just talking amongst themselves. Thank you very much, Ghosted. Appreciate that. Thank you. Let's have a look. What else? You should quit and become a professional YouTuber. Thanks. Appreciate the comment. Thank you. I don't think I'm going to quit. I love working at my school. You know that. Who are you? Um, yeah, the moderators. Yeah, I couldn't figure out how to get the moderators working, so we'll make sure that's working next time because I couldn't get them working. So no offense to the moderators; they're doing a good job. It's just me. Uh, Amazing skills. Thank you very much. Nice, that's appreciated. I'm the king. I think we're almost there, unless anybody else got any questions. Why is there fake mods? There will be real mods. I just don't know how to find them. I think that's something I need to learn. So it's out of view. Yeah, we've got that bit. The Haitian government are corrupt, so a lot of money that was raised. Yeah, you make a very good point there, Team Mod. Yeah, there was a lot of corruption, so not all the aid money went to the right projects, to the right people. Yeah, very good point. Every government is corrupt. Well, that makes it a very challenging world. There isn't a question in this exam, especially no, that's right. There won't specifically be a question on Haiti, but they might ask you to talk about an earthquake. If they ask you to talk about an earthquake, you can talk about Haiti as well. My case study looks good. Nice one, Joe. I'm glad you like that. Hopefully, you found it a bit of therapy. Amazing. Thank you. Great job. Thank you, guys. Thanks. Well done, guys. And as I say, it's not the same without you lot in the chat. So yeah, lovely. Didn't we do London? We could do London in a future chat. Happy birthday to Chloe. Yeah, nice, nice, nice. Great revision. What's that say? Great resource for GCSE students starting off point. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, it just gives you that overview, doesn't it? It really does. What else have we got here? Okay, I think that kind of ends the chat. So thank you very much for joining us. Like button, yeah, please hit the like button, share, and we will be back next week with another case study. You guys have been awesome and have a good evening. Take care. Thank you very much. Bye.